Welcome back to the Ride Laugh Podcast. If you love mountain biking, you are in the right place. Picture your last really fun group ride. You're back at the parking lot. The stoke is high. Everyone's talking about the ride, bikes, tech, nutrition, jumps, drops, berms. That's what we do here every week on the Ride Laugh Podcast. You love bikes. We love bikes. Let's drop in. Sage, how are you today?
Man, I got to tell you, bro, you're kind of a genius. You're kind of a genius because that intro was exactly, well, you're definitely a genius. That intro is just so spot on. I don't know if anybody else like recites it while you're saying it, but I find myself reciting it all the time when I'm listening to it. And I had a ride this weekend. And I tell you what, after the ride, we were all in the parking lot. We were talking about the ride, all the things that you talk about. Man, it was perfect, bro. So genius on your part.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that the title or the what is that called? The intro, is resonating with you.
Yes,
it is. It really has kind of settled in. It's kind of the same thing. For a long time, I would mix it up, but now I kind of got it down.
It's perfect.
I think it's
perfect.
Yeah. I'm really impressed. I almost started, instead of saying, Sage, how are you? I almost said, Sage, how's the weather? Because we've had such a string of
no more
weather-related intros.
I'm done with the weather.
You were like, I got it. I got something else. I'm going to talk about, after the intro, I'm going to talk about the intro. You think he's going to do the intro? Wait till I do my intro about the intro.
Yeah.
Just gonna keep introducing this thing.
That's right.
You want to talk about the vibe after that ride? You want to talk about that ride now, or do you want to get into it later?
Man, the vibe was just, you know what? The mountain bike community, bro. It's just so good. You know, dude, people from all walks of life, just everyone, no matter where you're from, you just come together over biking, you know? And it's just like,
I love it.
Oh, so diverse.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
What it doesn't male, female, doesn't matter what color skin you are. It doesn't matter socioeconomic. As long as you got a good enough bike, get on the trails and start riding, and we're all friends. We're all friends.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool. It's such an awesome sport, such an awesome community. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to, do you want me to get into some of my,
I could certainly talk about it. We had a ride. It was actually a shop ride at Mount Penn through my local shop, Keswick, and they asked yours truly to lead the ride. And of course, I was happy to do so because I love that mountain. Any excuse to get out there, but also to meet new people.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
And the Keswick Cycles team in Paoli and Glenside have been awesome to you.
Yeah, and you know those
good shop, good people.
You know those people at the shop, man. You know Frankie, that boy can jump, man. Holy cow. All the shop guys were so talented.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't done rides with them. That's cool. Yeah.
That was my first one. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it was incredible. It's always neat It's always cool to see people that are good at their craft. You know, and you know when someone's really good at their craft when they make it look easy. You know what I mean? You're just like, man, it just looks so smooth. The delivery and then all of it. Perfect.
Yeah, there's a trail here on South Mountain called Old Man, and Rob Drew routinely rides that. That's just like a part of his daily ride.
Yeah.
You know, like that's his loop. And it's a double black, crazy, gnarly, loose, high exposure tech trail.
Yeah.
And when you look at that as the routine, you know, and then I'm riding trails that now that I have the e-bike, I've just recently started doing loops at South Mountain. When I first got it, I was just riding at Halls because there was jump trails there.
Right.
And then just recently, these last couple rides, really the last 2 rides, I've been using the e-bike to get up to the top and then just do the downhill runs at South Mountain. And there's several really good ones that kind of go off the mountain into the street.
Yes.
And with the e-bike, you could just power back up.
Like it's nothing.
And dude, it is so much fun. I love that bike so much. Yeah. If this is a recovery week for me, like Trainer Road has to be on a recovery week and I'm just out on the e-bike, I'm sweating because it's the desert. It's hard work still, but nowhere near.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting 3 legit downhill runs in an hour and a half or 2 hours it's so cool. I got the drone out. I'm getting cool drone footage.
Yeah.
But what made me think of that today is I've been going down 24th Street with also Mormon, which is super chunky.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime I went down that in the past, it was intimidating. There's a couple spots that intimidate me, and getting the lines right, and it's exhausting because it is so chunky. But I went down it earlier this week on Monday, and then 2 days later, Wednesday, went down it again, and starting to feel like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
And I was driving home, and I was like, that's how Rob feels on Old Man.
That's right.
Just like, oh, I got this. You know what I mean? Like, so when you do something enough that you start to get a level of expertise and it just becomes routine, that's just like that level of progression is just so cool. And then when you see riders that like people that you rode with that make it look easy. And so listeners, that's where we're going, right? And when we're progressing, that's where we're going. And that's why we always need to get to new trails and harder trails. And we have a really good question from a listener about that. But that progression just feels so good in mountain biking, and then looking back and saying, what that used to be hard and now it's routine. Look, same thing in life. That used to be hard and now that's routine. I can do that routinely, like learning how to drive a car, or learning how to make money, or learning how to whatever it is. Used to be hard, now it's routine. And just giving ourselves the credit for like, yeah, we figured that out.
Yeah, the next level to that is, okay, I've gotten super comfortable on 24th Street. Now take that and apply that to everywhere else. When you run into a situation, I've done this before. So even though it's unfamiliar, right, quote unquote, to go back a couple pods, even though it's unfamiliar, you have the skills to do it and recall on that. Pull that into your brain and be like, yeah, you know what? No, I got this too. No problem. And ride with that same confidence. I got a question for you. Did you end up upgrading that e-bike? I know you were talking about putting a coil on it and changing a few other things. Are you still riding it stock? And are you going to keep it stock?
I am riding it stock. It's a good question. Before I answer that question, I just got to say, we were thinking that the e-bike would help with progression because you get more downhill laps.
Yeah.
And help with comfort and body position and being able to practice all of that stuff, and being able to do 3 downhill laps in a row. Yeah. And also go really fast on the uphill. And I'm getting playful. Let me practice being a little bit more playful. Let me practice really getting my weight around. Let me really practice getting my hips around. Let me really practice being forward. Let me practice bouncing. Let me get my eyes up.
Yes.
I feel like it's happening. It's really, really, really cool. It's so much fun. And then just like that confidence is starting to build just from being able to do more laps. Like the e-bike progression, it's real. And in my very, very small, limited sample size right now, it's real and it's really cool. And look, I still train hard on my indoor trainer, and I ride my analog bike. But there's a place, if you can afford the e-bike, there is a place in the garage for the e-bike. If so long as it's just really cool.
Yeah.
As far as modifications, yes, I was going to replace the rear shock, which came stock with an air shock. And I actually got it at factory level. I didn't get the upgraded one because Tristan at Ride Dialed, who is awesome and I enjoy working with, he said, let's put a coil on there. And I have a coil on my Firebird, and I thought that sounds great. I don't care about the weight with the e-bike.
Right.
And then he actually recommended kind of making the front coil also, so they can change the internal, and that it gets heavier, but he's like, for e-bikes, it's great. And I was like, geez, I don't know what I want to do with this bike. So let me just ride it the way it came. Right. And that's what I've been doing. And it's awesome. Like, I was like,
that's what I thought you were going to say.
I don't know, dude. Like, it's freaking great. Like, it feels so good.
Yeah.
I love my Pivot Firebird. And that's when I rode that bike, that was the best bike I'd ever ridden. And I went and bought one. This Orbea Wild, I don't know what their analog bikes feel like. And more importantly, I don't know what their enduro bikes climb like, because my Firebird climbs so well for a big travel enduro bike. But this bike feels better on the downhills than any bike I've ever been on. And it's similar travel as my Firebird. I'd have to look at if I was in the market for a new analog enduro bike, I would have to look at the Orbeas.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tristan is, from what I gather, he's a pretty tall, big rider. maybe it might be worth asking him if he has a bike that you could demo that is an e-bike that has a coil, to see if it's even worth. It's a lot of money to spend on a bike if you're already comfortable and you're like, dude, I kind of like this the way it is. Like, make that jump, like,
here's the thing. I had budgeted the coil.
Mm-hmm.
He told me how much it was going to cost, and I had budgeted the coil. And then when I bought it, I was going to bring it right over to him and take the air shock out and put the coil on. And because he was then he was like, well, what'd be even better is if we made the front fork a coil and don't worry about the back right now. And then I was like, well, now we're going over budget. So let me just ride it and see how it feels. And it feels good, but I still love the coil in the back. I think it could feel even better. I would like the bike to be a little bit more lively, a little more playful. I know I can probably do that with volume spacers and messing with the air fork or the air shock. But the great thing about the coil also is once you get it dialed in, and if you're working with someone who's a suspension expert like Tristan, once you get it dialed in, it's pretty much maintenance free. So I always really appreciate that about the coil. So I still think that eventually I'll get it over to him and be like, let's get this set up for a coil. Sure. I just haven't had there's just no urgency to do so because the bike feels so good. Yeah. It's just such a great time to be a mountain biker. I mean, it is so fun. And look, I got the Bosch CXR motor on that Orbea Wild. And then like a month later, after I got my bike, they came out with the updated one that has the DJI Avanox 2 motor, and they changed the travel. You know what I mean? Like, it got even better. Yeah, but that's the way it happens with technology. Like, we knew, like, you just got to pull the trigger, right? And just be okay with it. You love the bike. And it's freaking amazing. It is so much fun. Yeah, I'm so stoked on it. So I just don't know why, like, Denny Giannetti and some of our e-bike friends didn't tell me to get one sooner. I don't know why they were so passive about
really
it,
big miss, Denny. Yes. Yeah, really disappointed.
Yeah. By the way, Denny's comment that a group of e-bikers is called
a Denny Giannetti.
A Denny. We wanted to name it a Watt, but he said we're going to name it a Denny. So
I'm happy to see him back, buddy. Happy to see him back.
Yeah. Dennis had a little bit of a knee issue or some health issues, and he wasn't able to ride. And but I just saw one of his videos come out and said he's back, and he's on that back from not riding. Everyone's going faster. I don't feel good. Like there's that whole path that so many of us have been down before. And Dennis, if you're still frustrated, because when he put that video out, I could tell he was pretty frustrated that he hadn't been riding, and when he got back on his bike, he felt slow. There's actually something really special about that redemption arc. It comes back fast, but coming back from injury or just time away from the bike, there's something actually really special about like building your skills back up and then starting to like click again and starting to, you know what? I am really good at this. I think there's just kind of something special about that journey. I've been on it several times and I don't want it. I don't want to break something. I don't want to, slice my arm open or not be able to ride. But there's also like something kind of special about getting back to who you really are, overcoming all that.
Wow, what an
Am I crazy?
Interesting. I mean, what a hot take. I mean, that's I did not expect that coming out of you. When I think about my injury, because I've had several injuries as well, and I don't know that I looked back on it so fondly, but now that you're saying it out loud and I'm listening to it, I'm like, gosh, I guess that was listen, the journey was hard, right? It was hard. And I remember, sleepless nights and just pain, and then that struggle that Denny's talking about. But you're right. I guess if I look back on it and trying to shift that perspective, you're right. It was a pretty cool experience, and it makes you appreciate where you are today. That's for sure.
Well, that's for sure. And I think appreciating the sleepless nights and the pain, like that's another level. God bless you if you can get there. I was talking about you're feeling better and you're back riding and gaining your confidence again. I was talking about that little part of it, but yeah, certainly being in the hospital or urgent care, or, or just crutches, all those things, very difficult. But getting back on the bike and riding again and finding the joy in that, a lot of times the injury also comes with a questioning, right? Do I want to do this? Is this a good idea? Am I on the, is this am I pushing too hard on progression? What did I do wrong? So, and then we start to overcome all of those kind of feelings also, or start to deal with those. It brings up a lot of stuff in our basement, right? In our vibrational basement. It brings up a lot of that gunk of, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Right? Especially, family members that, this is your third time that you've had a major injury, and they're like, so we're done now?
Yeah. Do you think?
No, I'm going to keep going.
I did a coaching assessment ride with a new guy, Steve, who reached out, and it could be a possible coaching opportunity, but he's very new to mountain biking, but has ridden a road bike, but the mountain bike was new to him. And at one point during the ride, we're at Smedley, and he stopped and he said something to the effect of like, I don't want to crash. Like, have you crashed? And I was like, yes. And he's like, I don't want to crash. And it got me thinking, because I didn't know how to. Well, is it? And do we have to? Well, check. So I started going back through my head, like on all the crashes. I've had some really bad ones, but every single one was avoidable. Now, I haven't had a crash in a long time. I don't need to knock on wood, because I'm not a jinx person. I'm not going to crash anymore. That's just how I ride. Do we have to crash? I've learned from every single one. What if you could get into mountain biking and already be proficient at listening to the signs and listening to your bodies, and then, what if you, like, do you have to crash? Is that a thing? Is it just known that if you're going to get into mountain biking, you're going to get hurt? That sounds like bull crap. I mean, it sounds true though. Well,
yeah. Let's go bull taint, because or is bull taint my thing? Oh, yeah. You go bull crap and I go bull taint.
Yeah, that's your thing. I don't want to step on you. Yeah, I don't want to step on you.
My OnlyFans. That's for my flow. Yeah. My OnlyFans flow.
That's right.
Did Sage just use Dan's bull taint? That's some bull taint.
Ooh, that sounded disgusting.
Yeah, that did sound gross. I was just about to tell you that you could use my bull taint, and then all listeners can use bull taint. Yeah. If I start hearing bull taint in the vernacular,
yeah,
I get credit for that, right? If you just start hearing like people saying that on TV and stuff, like, yeah, that's me. No one said bull taint before me, right?
Hashtag bull taint. Let's get it going on IG. Hashtag bull taint.
I don't know what sort of weird things come up if you put it bull taint into your internet search engine. I don't want to see it. I don't want to take a chance. Oh boy. Do we have to crash? Do we have to get hurt? I think we're going to lay the bike down. I mean, you're riding a bike on rocks and you're jumping it. Like I think it's gonna go down. Even a mechanic, my handlebars turned and the bike didn't go with it. Like things happen. It is a pretty extreme sport. Yeah. It's funny because for everyone listening, we all do it, but there's extreme and then there's extreme, right? There's Red Bull, right? There's Rampage and Hardline. I mean, and if you open up Instagram, you see people doing crazy things every day, and even on YouTube. And then there's the most of us that really just are enjoying riding regular trails. Nonetheless, it's pretty extreme, and there's a lot of exposure, and there's trees, and so right. I think not.
What a bummer.
Do we have to get hurt? Can we minimize the crashing? Can we? I think it's a fantastic point that you make. So let's not say what a bummer, because I think you're making a great point. Learn, if you're a beginner like Steve, reaching out to a coach when he's a beginner and setting up that foundational technique what I told him. Properly.
That's what I told him.
Brilliant. Nobody does that. And I wish that would shift, because you don't go, if you're going to go skiing, you take a lesson. You're going to go snowboarding, you take a lesson.
What, dude?
You go mountain biking. People are like, I don't know how to ride a bike, so I'm just going to.
So good.
So yeah, take a lesson. I mean, we've done so many of our crashes were because we dead sailered, or we didn't understand body position, or I was too far back, or you didn't know how to push through a jump, and there was just no instruction, just figuring it out on our own. And we don't need to do that, especially with mountain bike YouTube nowadays. Like, you watch some slanted ground videos, and if you can't do it, then get a coach or go to a clinic for a couple hours. I mean, that set yourself up. So I don't think we need to have the catastrophic crashes. And just like David Mountain Bike Academy said, we can blast through progression plateaus. You plateau, but if you've already set up where your body's moving correctly, and you're centered, and you understand how your body weight makes the bike move, you're driving the bike instead of the bike driving you, which is so much of what I have fallen victim to in my mountain bike career. If you understand that from the get-go, then sky's the limit. And so, avoiding catastrophic crashes. Are you going to lay the bike down? Are you going to be bleeding every once in a while? Well, yeah. But if you play basketball, are you going to twist an ankle? Are you going to break a finger? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, things are going to happen. We're not wrapped in bubble wrap. You got to live. Let's go for it.
I love it, Danny. That was an excellent take. And I did say that to Steve. I said, I'm really excited. If you decide to pursue this coaching with me, I was like, I'm really excited to be able to build foundational habits, right? I don't have to break old ones. We can build it correctly from the start. So yeah, really good point that you just made. Fantastic.
Did you do a pre-coaching ride with Steve?
Yeah. Well, coaching's not cheap, and it's a pretty big investment to not just money, but also time wise. And I think like a lot of people, he's uncomfortable with that. And I said, listen, why don't we just meet for a ride? And then you can see the kind of person that I am.
Oh, that was your idea.
Yeah. I was like, you can see the kind of person I am. I can see the type of rider that you are, and we can kind of assess each other. So I called it a coaching assessment ride, and it was great. I got to get to know Steve. He got to get to know me. And, I had some pointers along the trail. It was a nice way to kind of introduce someone to yourself as well as the riding. So yeah, good stuff. Other coaches out there, think about it.
That's an amazing service by Trail Sage. I do. Obviously, you can't give the coaching away for free. You've got to put food on the table.
Of course.
So while you're riding with him, I presume that you were just saying, like, what you did right there, I could fix that, but I can't tell you now. I can tell you later.
No.
It cost you.
But you
know how you just missed that corner? I can fix that.
Well, that's the thing, Danny.
I can't tell you.
We're on a ride. So we're moving. So you can't get into detail. If it was a coaching, we would actually stop. We would stop and we'd session. This was a ride. So it worked out perfectly like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, all the money that we invest, I wish I had done. I did some coaching. I did, but it was after many crashes. I was
Dan Smart. Wasn't his name Smart or Smart something?
Dirt Smart.
I was Smart. So close.
Dan I was Smart. Yeah. It was okay. Andy at Dirt Smart.
There we go.
And Curtis, our buddy Curtis, turned me on because I just crashed so much. He sent me an email. He said, hey, you might want to think about coaching. That was the first time it even occurred to me. And it was great. It was really, really helpful. That was one time. It was a really long time ago. But I think that we spend so much time getting ready for rides and doing rides and planning rides and traveling for rides. And we spend so much money on bikes and gear, a few $100 on coaching, whatever, or $500 for a weekend or $1,000. Like, I just think it's totally worthwhile. Like, I think that's more important than the bike. I think that's more important than the new shoe or shoes. Like, you're buying one shoe, but coaching, the coaching, I think it's probably worth its weight in gold, especially if you're doing it early. I just think it's awesome.
Well, without, making this sound like, the Sage is just trying to get coaching gigs, coaching can also be, like you said, going onto YouTube and watching Josh's Slanted Ground, or, just going out to these group events that I just did, like these shop rides and stuff like that. You can get and learn from other people. You don't necessarily have to hire a coach. Obviously, yes, much appreciated if you did, but listen, there are other ways to do this, but your point is you're making an investment in this gear that is costing a lot of money and you don't know how to use the gear. If you just think about how foolish that sounds, that's crazy. Right. You spent $10,000 on well, maybe you didn't, but maybe you spent $3,000. It's a lot of money and you don't know how to use the equipment. Come on.
Yeah. You buy a boat and water skis and no idea how to water ski. So you bought the boat so that you could water ski. And no idea. So you bought a bike. You bought a bike rack. You bought all the gear. You're ready to go. And all you know how to do is pedal, essentially. I just don't think learning how to ride a bike as a kid or riding around the neighborhood really helps us that much. You can also listen to Ride Laugh Podcast. We give a lot of tips and listen to our journey, a lot of what not to do's, but a lot of tips on what to do and the mentality of how to approach everything. Ride Laugh 1 at Gmail and YouTube comments, anything that you have questions about, anything we've talked about already, certainly, but anything you have questions about or anything that you want us to dig into a little bit deeper. We've had some requests recently.
Yeah.
I do want to talk. I want to hear more about your Mount Penn ride, but I want to talk about. We were talking. We had the conversation where my wife said, "What does it mean to be a pro level mountain biker?"
Yo, so good. Yes,
right. And she's like, "Do pros not fall? Do pros not have doubt? Do pros not hit progression plateaus?"
Yeah.
And then I did a ride with Jeff Windsor, and he went even deeper into that. And he said, "What does it even define a pro? There's XC racers, there's downhillers, there's enduro racers. So like when you just say pro, like there's some pros that are good at pedaling and there's some pros that are good at downhilling."
Yeah. And
I said, well, I'll just pick Nino Schurter. He seems to be great at pedaling and downhill and jumps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah. He raced BC bike race with Dale Stone. And I think he got first or second. Yeah. That dude does it all.
I think he won.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he won. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And that BC bike race with Dale was so fun to watch. I don't watch really any XC content, but watching Dale enduro ride these downhills on his XC bike and just be passing people left and right. And Dale's so likable and polite, look in the past when you get a chance, no rush, meanwhile, he was in the top 100. Yeah, he did really, really well. And on these time downhill segments, he was in the top 20, top 10.
Yeah.
He's awesome rider.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of mountain bike YouTube, there is a Lone Wolf video. Lone Wolf is a really big YouTube channel, and they are doing mountain bike reviews of bike parks. And they happen to be at Canoga and at Rock Creek the same days that we were there, Cole and Kyle.
How lucky
we met
for
them at Canoga.
Yeah.
How fortunate for them. They had no idea they were around such mountain bike celebrities. And so then we saw them at Canoga, and then saw them again at Rock Creek, and we're talking to them, and they said, "Hey, do you mind if we interview you guys for our review of the bike parks?" And so your boys, Danny and Sage, are in the review of Lone Wolf, Rock Creek. Awesome bike park, amazing. We could do a whole pod on that, and it's a great review. I totally recommend going and watching it. These dudes can shred. They shredded every trail. The footage is really, really good.
Yeah. Those two were quite incredible, and I was incredibly flattered to be included in that video because I didn't see any other interviews. So we must have left quite an impression, my friend. Quite impression. Yes.
And I worked in the Ride Laugh Podcast. You did not.
Right in there.
But I got you back. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All the Lone Wolf viewers that watched the bike park review and then heard me mention the podcast and they're now listening. Welcome. That's got to be thousands of them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Welcome to Ride Laugh.
That's right.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to point out, we talked about me looking like I thought I was giving out Freddie Mercury vibes, and then our buddy Ryan, listener Ryan and friend, made the AI Dan Freddie Mercury image, which was hilarious. And then you said "Harkin," and somehow I related that to Hark the baby Jesus, and we talked about you being an angel, and Ryan came through again and he made an AI of you as an angel.
So good.
But with Talladega Nights, because I said I like to picture my baby Jesus as a 48-year-old Asian man. So you got the tuxedo shirt on.
Unbelievable.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
You know?
Can he be our official AI engineer? Like, so good.
Done.
You're hired.
Yes. I think if we talk about an AI image, I think Ryan's already on it. He said he loves the pod and he's happy to give back by making us look like
thank you very much.
Idiots. But we appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
We can do that on our own as well. Yeah. All right. So we have the bit going where we talk about a group of mountain bikers. That's a steez.
Yeah.
Especially a group of Ride Laugh mountain bikers. That's a steez.
Definitely a steez.
We also had the single speeders, which is a cog. We had the e-bikers, which is either a Dennis or a Watt.
Yeah.
What about, I have a couple other ideas. I have downhill riders. How about a plummet?
A plummet? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I got to workshop that one a little bit more.
Yeah. You said it with confidence, so that was good.
I know. I was like, you know what? It sounded so much better in my head. Okay. All right. I'm going to shift over. All right. So Ride Laugh on Gmail, YouTube comments, a group of downhill riders or racers.
Yeah.
We'll keep workshopping that one. How about now XC racers? How about, I think this may have looked better on paper. A Lycra.
A Lycra? Oh, terrible. No.
Okay. What about a cadence? A cadence of XC racers?
I like it better than Lycra, but
okay.
I personally thought the steez just covers everyone. That was my personal take.
Okay.
I appreciate your.
I got overconfident last week because you really liked the Watt and you liked the cog.
The Watt and cog were amazing. Yeah, the plummet and Lycra.
Okay. Yeah, I should have just left it. At good enough.
You had a good thing. Yeah, you had a good thing.
I got one left. Here we go. Redemption. Okay. A group of dirt jumpers. Okay. A group of dirt jumpers is called a whip.
That I like. That is really good. Yeah. Wow.
Whew. 1 out of 3. Okay.
Although
a whip of dirt jumpers.
I always call new riding things a whip. Like if someone gets a new car, that's a nice whip. I don't know if that's an East Coast thing.
That's true.
Yeah. If they get a new bike, nice whip.
Yeah, that's true. We do use whip in that sense also.
Yeah. But I still like it.
My dad used to always say when he asked how my car was doing, he said, "How's the bomb?" He called my car a bomb.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Is that like a
thing
from the 50s or 60s?
It must be. I've never heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like an old timey thing.
Yeah. The bomb.
In the 90s, the bomb was something else. Like, the bomb was a good thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right? That's the bomb.
Yeah, the bomb.
Yeah, that's totally gone. The bomb's totally gone, huh?
No one says the bomb. No. I'm trying to bring dope back, but yeah, the bomb is out.
Oh, okay. Well, if you could bring dope back, why can't we bring back the bomb?
You can. I think you just did.
Okay.
Hashtag the bomb.
Yeah. You know what? That bull taint was the bomb.
There you go. Double hashtag. Fantastic. Oh my.
Now, our millennial listeners are not understanding the proper use of bomb because that was an improper use of the bomb.
Absolutely.
You would never put bomb and
steered them wrong.
Bull taint together.
You would not.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, we talked about my handlebars moving.
Yeah.
And my front wheel not going with it and the bolts not being tight enough. And we got an email from Brendan, and Brendan said a lot of service manuals have torque specs for everything. He goes on to say, just hand tighten. My point is that some of these manufacturer specs seem to be too low. So he did a lot of wrenching.
Yeah.
And he used his torque wrench and he noticed that things were loosening up. And I got to say, like, do you ever take out the torque wrench?
I knew you're gonna.
Do you have a torque wrench?
I knew you were gonna bring this up, and I was dreading bringing this up because I know I'm gonna get absolutely lambasted if that's the right word. I don't torque nothing, man. I crank these things down so hard, and I know I shouldn't because it's carbon, and that's where they say the torque really makes a difference.
Never had a problem. But you never had a problem.
I've never had a problem, man. I crank this thing down no matter what it is until I can't crank it no more. Like I like it tight. I don't want it moving. And I go ahead. Hit me, everyone. Hit me. Tell me how wrong I am.
I feel like Brian, I feel like we got an AI song coming in here. Like you're like, I crank it tight.
Oh,
and what was the other thing he said?
The bomb.
I never got a problem.
Oh,
yeah. I like to crank it.
Yeah.
We get 90s.
No, dude. Yeah. I don't know. It's not a laziness. I agree with the comment because I always felt that the torque specs weren't tight enough. Like actually on this ride at Mount Penn, I had a small crash and my brake lever moved. And I realized that's the purpose of leaving it loose so they do move. But then I was just like, I had to get the tool out and I had to straighten it back out. But like, man, I just prefer to crank it down.
Well, I think I'm probably in that same boat. I think I'm like, whatever the torque specs are.
Oh,
I want to go a little bit further because today I was riding my e-bike.
Yeah.
And I started to feel like my clip was loose on my shoe or something was wrong with the pedal. And I kept looking at the shoe and the pedal and there's nothing wrong. And I'm right. And it just doesn't feel right. Finally, I get off the bike and I look at it and the crank is loose. I've never experienced the crank arm bolt actually loosening up and like starting to unwind.
I don't know. Is that a torqueable piece? Do you?
Well, yes.
Crank?
Yes.
Oh, I've never taken a crank off.
I never have either, and that's never been a bolt that I've had to tighten. This bike is good. I don't know if it's because it's an e-bike because it's heavy and I'm riding it on chunk and it's just like everything's rattling loose, or if like is Ride Laugh one at Gmail or YouTube comments. These are E13 cranks. Has anyone experienced this where the crank loosened up? So I mean, I just use my mini tool to, lock it down as tight as I could on the trail. That's the last thing I wanted, a crank coming off.
Jeez, the crank bolt. I mean, you did it with a mini tool? Yeah. That would make me nervous.
What am I supposed to do? I'm not going back to the parking lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I guess I can check with the torque wrench and see how close I am, but I was pretty surprised by that. So I think we have to take those a little bit loosely. And if you're those torque measurements, Ride Laugh one at Gmail and YouTube comments, if you agree or disagree. But I would say, like, even if you're going to go by the torque measurement, like even go one or two more. I guess it depends what you're tightening. And
do not. No, dude, that's a liability right there. No.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, yes.
That's bullshit. That advice was bullshit. That's right.
God forbid something happens. They'll be like, well, Danny told me to over torque it, No, follow the instructions.
I'll just, you're right. I was going to refer them to Brendan, but that wouldn't be fair. He's like, hey man, I emailed in a comment. How am I liable for this?
Brendan,
we're going to need your certificate of insurance. You're going to have to send that to Ride Laugh one at Gmail, please.
Yeah, poor guy. Jeez Louise.
You have to list Ride Laugh Podcast LLC as a lost payee on your insurance. Let your wife know.
Hashtag Boltain.
Or husband. All right. Yeah. Use the torque specs. Follow the instructions. Don't listen to me on this one. You know what? Let's just that's my bad. You're right. But me personally, I'm gonna tighten things pretty good. I want things to be pretty tight. And also just another reminder to check your bolts. I'm realizing that there's more bolts on this bike than I ever realized. I always just check the suspension bolts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many things coming loose.
I know. That's crazy.
Oh boy. All right. Good catch on your part. Another email, Ride Laugh one at Gmail from Levi, young shredder and ripper that's been following us and listening for a while. Thanks to Levi. And he says, how in the world do I progress my skill and confidence in riding if I don't ride new trails very often? And this is something that we were just talking about in the beginning of the podcast, right? That progressing on and getting better at trails and then moving up to the harder trail and then feeling good on that and then moving up to a harder trail. If you're always riding the same trails, what are your tips to add progression?
Gosh, I just realized that because I'm looking at myself, I just realized I had the resting pod face again. My apologies.
You totally did.
I did.
Totally did. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the face was because I don't think one equals the other. I don't think that in order to progress, you need to move to a new trail. Like take the existing trail and figure out how you can accentuate or exaggerate the things that are on that trail. A great example is you if you look at the trail, maybe you'll notice a rock that you can use as a kicker. And now you can work on a little J-hop technique, or maybe you can jump into a turn. There are things that you can do to your normal trail, including riding it backwards, But if you're just going to ride it the same direction, just look for these things and you can progress on those trails. You don't have to go to somewhere new to be able to do that.
Yes. So there's a lot of things that we can do riding a trail the other direction for sure.
Yeah.
But we can always go faster. We can always hit corners harder, stronger.
Yeah.
You can always get more centered. You can always be looking to bump jump off of things, or get a little bit of air here and there, practice your endo turns, practice your nose wheelies, all these sorts of things. So there's a lot of opportunity on a trail that you're used to, or even an easy trail, even a climbing trail. If you're kind of bored and it's, what is here for me, getting light and heavy, really practicing that when you're on a slight uphill. So there's no real risk of losing control when you're on a downhill. So I think there's a lot that we can do on those trails. And then when you do get to a new trail, that much more fun. Also look for alt lines.
Ooh.
What else can I ride? As long as it's within the, it's legality of wherever you're riding. I'm not saying
all of a sudden you're sensitive. Yeah. Now you're super sensitive to it. That's so funny.
I mean, I can only deal with just one lawsuit at a time, I guess.
That's right. Ride and Laugh legal team is going crazy. Like, what is this guy doing?
Oh boy. The legal team is they're up to their nose and is that the term? Up to their ears? Up to their eyes. I think it's up to your eyes.
You went nose. That was funny. Yeah. Yeah. You went up to the nose. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost to the eyes. It's like if you're up to the eyes, then you really can't breathe.
There you go.
Right.
You're under. If you're under.
Yeah. In lawsuits, in legal complaints. Well, we had episode 48, The Hidden Power of Variety and Riding Without Pressure.
Yeah.
We talked about wild animals on that one.
Yeah.
And we had several people, including Shelly, mention Yellowjackets. I think Brian on a bike also. As far as East Coast wild animal encounters, Yellowjackets in the Northeast are a real problem.
Yeah. As soon as she said that, because when you had asked me, I said, no, I've never had an encounter with it. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh, yeah, they are bad, man. These are not bees. These are different. They are way aggressive and they burrow in the dirt. Bees, they make a hive somewhere. These Yellowjackets like burrow in the dirt and like on the trail, like on the trail,
or
vicious.
Yeah. Or like if there's like logs or something like that are on the trail, like little, a lot of times, I guess they're in the wasp family, but it's very easy to run over where their home. And then they swarm and they sting. And it's, we talked about the first guy over the rattler is okay, but maybe the fourth guy is in trouble. Boy, if you're the fourth rider over a Yellowjacket nest, you are in trouble. Like we've been on rides where the first guy gets maybe stung or doesn't even know. Right. The first guy doesn't even know. The first rider doesn't even know. And the fourth person has like 8 stings.
Yeah.
And he's an EpiPen. Yeah. It could be really bad.
Yeah.
So great point there. And then episode 49, Ride with Certainty, the mountain bike mindset that unlocks confidence and flow. We had Josh Boom say that he's totally talks his way through hard things, and the mantra is that he's getting ready to drop into something. And he really loves your bit about feeling and listening to the trail. And he said that he was riding Full Sail in Flagstaff. Yeah. And he was using those tips. He was using those mantras. He was feeling the bike. He was feeling his body. And he said it was awesome. And he said, this podcast has really helped me focus on more in the moment and less on negative self-talk.
Dude, that's awesome. I love hearing that kind of stuff, man. That is good stuff. And dude, Full Sail, come on, man. Such a great trail.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Exhaustingly. It is
exhaustingly
the longest flow trail in the world. It is. You're having so much fun until your like legs and arms and back are just like on fire.
Yeah.
And it's still going. Berms, jumps, just like, oh my gosh, it's still flowing. It's built so well that you push into everything. You get free speed but oh my gosh, it's so long. Yeah, but so fun.
I know.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I do want to mention that Costa Rica trip. Come ride with Dan and Sage, January 11th, 2027 for a week in Costa Rica. It's a tropical paradise. And if you go on, we'll have the link on the website. The website is updated and really easy to register. So start thinking about that now. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be awesome. And pretty much like intermediate and above. I think if you're listening to this podcast and you're into it, like we'll make it work for you. We'll make it work. But
yeah, man,
it's going to be a really good time, and it's going to be like in the middle of the winter, and you're going to go to the jungle and you're going to ride and you're going to laugh or have a great time. So definitely check out the link below for the Costa Rica trip. Start thinking about that.
Yeah, just to harken back to what we started the pod with, which is, you know, when you get back to the parking lot, that this whole Costa Rica trip is going to be exactly that intro. Just think about like, oh my God, the stories. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be so fun.
Nonstop stoke and excitement and new trails and progression and fun and laughter. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And we can bring out all the 90s terms that we want. We can use millennial terms.
There we go. Yeah.
I know a little bit of brain rot. You know, I got kids. Like I got terms. I can go. Yeah.
Yes.
I got I'm farming. My kids are like, nobody uses those words anymore, Dad. I'm like, you taught them to me, so now
already dated. Yep, already dated.
Yeah. Total typical dad. So, all right, Seiji, let's get into our mountain bike gratitudes of the week. What you got,
man? Just to last week's pod, and you know, it got a little deep. It got a little bit deep, and my gratitude is you, my friend. I am so grateful for our friendship. And when you gave me that advice, I'm not someone that can just quickly, actually I actually am someone that can quickly change, but to get to that point, to make that change, it takes a long time. I like to think about things, but once I decide that it's a good thing, then I quickly make a change. But the fact that you were able to know me so well and then have that piece of advice, I just want to let you know, man, it really meant a lot to me. And I have been taking that seriously. And if you haven't listened to that podcast, Danny's advice to me was spice it up, get a little variety in your life, and that'll kind of re-energize you and get things moving in a new direction. Because I feel like I was kind of stuck, to use that word. So dude, I love you, man. I love you. There's no other way to say it, man. It was awesome. It meant a lot to me. So yeah, gratitude to you.
Well, thank you. And I love you too. I think that it's awesome that you're open to receive in that way. Sometimes hearing something that we don't necessarily want to hear is there's resistance there. So open to receive and just listening and letting it marinate. And probably not the first time I've said it, but for whatever reason, you're ready to hear it.
Yeah.
This time.
Right. Isn't that weird like that?
Yeah. Perfect. All in perfect timing. You know, sometimes someone could say something to you a dozen times and then, you know, you hear it the 13th or 14th time. And it's like, oh, now I understand it.
Or
now
from
it makes
somebody
sense.
else.
Now it clicks. Yeah. I love the way that we do this in our normal conversations because we relate everything to mountain biking, and certainly on the Ride and Laugh Mountain Bike Podcast, we're constantly relating things to mountain biking, and we talk about mountain bike synchronicities and how things on the bike and progressing on the bike, you know, we can use that in life also. I got this trail and this used to be hard for me and now it's routine, and life, you know, that used to be hard for me, and look back and look everything that's kind of routine now, and just knowing that we're going to get to the bottom of the trail, things are going to work out.
Yeah.
And relating this back to bikes is what we talked about last week. A friend sees you riding on the trail and says, hey, I noticed something that you can't see.
Right.
And so riding behind you, right? I see this. And so if you want to take this advice or not, right? You want to start getting your hips around or not, you know, it's up to you, but I'm going to let you know. And so, you know, bikes and life, and we'll see what happens. And then you and I had a conversation later in the week and with my wife, Lauren, and then you and I continued that conversation, and you brought up several things that I did not think that's where that conversation was going to go. And you brought up several things that have really made me think and made me look at what we're doing, what I'm doing with my life, and what I want to be doing and how I want to be feeling. And, you know, we've talked so much about certainty versus doubt.
Yeah.
Feeling like I got $10 million in the bank, so I don't need to worry about the bills. I'm going to take care of it. Feeling, not spending like I got $10 million, but feeling like I got $10 million. And then feeling like everything's going to work out. And you kind of lit a little bit of a fire under my taint, so to speak.
Oh,
yeah, hot. My taint was sizzling, smoking. I was like, oh, what's going on in here? All right. Well, my mountain bike gratitude of the week, and I keep it fairly short because we've already talked about it quite a bit today. I am so stoked on this e-bike. I am so stoked on my Orbea Wild. E-mountain bike that I got from Amigos. They did an awesome job directing me towards this bike and helping me put this bike together. I got, it's a custom color. I got Ride Laugh is like sketched onto the chainstay. It's really cool. It's such an awesome bike. They call it the Yes Machine, or Orbea's marketing is they call it the Yes Machine. And I feel that, man. I look at it and I do I want to go for a ride? Yes, I do. My wife says, I never see you smile so big when you come back from these e-bike rides. And it's just like, I'm not giving up on analog riding. I'm not. Boy, it's just fun. It's just the fun part of mountain biking. There's just no suffering. And there's a good technical climb. There's a good suffer. But this is just fun. You don't have to be like fully recovered. You don't have to worry about being exhausted the next day. Just going out and just having fun and getting better at downhills. It's awesome. So just super gratitude to Orbea Wild and my e-mountain bike. And I'm really glad I pulled the trigger, and gratitude to Amigos that helped me with that and pointed me towards that, and everything that's come together just to be able to have the resources to get an e-bike. I'm just so grateful. It's such a great time to be a mountain biker. Gratitude.
Yes. Actually, that is a perfect transition into my mountain bike tip, because this has nothing to do with e-bikes, but it does have to do with struggle on the bike. And it goes back to when I was doing that coaching assessment ride with Steve, and he was peppering me with so many questions. It was a really neat ride for me, because I had forgotten about all the things that Steve was worrying about. You and I have been riding for so long. Yes. He was asking me beginner questions, and I was like, gosh, I have to actually think about that, because I just do it instinctively,
take it for granted. Just like riding the trail that is now easy. We take it for granted. How good we've got. Look back at how far we've come. I love that.
Yes. So one of the things about Smedley, which is a local park to me, is it is very punchy. In fact, a lot of the trails on the East Coast, at least around the Philadelphia area, we're very much known for steep, punchy climbs, steep down and steep up. And he was struggling on some of these climbs. He was asking me a climbing technique. And I thought this would be a mountain bike tip that I could bring up. And there are two things that I want to talk about. And this does not include technical climbing. So if we're talking about a regular climb that is just very steep, there's no rocks or roots, and maybe there might be some rocks or roots, but it's just steep. There are two ways that you can tackle that. And one is, if you're going to do a seated climb, I noticed that, and I picked this advice up from somebody else. I forget where I heard it. I think it was actually
a prop.
Yes, I got a prop. Hey, if you're on the YouTube,
if you're listening on the podcast, if you're not on the YouTube, Sage has a prop right now. He's got his taint out.
Yes.
Oh no, that's a saddle. Sorry.
Wait a second. No.
Sorry. I was messing with the podcast listeners. Yeah. They were like, wait, I got to get the YouTube version of it. He has an OnlyFans now too.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know where I picked up this advice, but I think it was actually from an XC or road race. But what they said was, when you are getting into a difficult section that is steep, slide your butt up the saddle. So typically when you ride on your saddle, you're kind of in that, like, the meaty part of the saddle where it's nice and wide. When you start to go on a steep climb, slide your weight a little bit forward. First of all, you're going to match the angle of the climb. That's the most important part. So you're getting the weight down onto the back tire, but it's also going to feel a lot better. It's going to be a better climbing position. So slide your butt up the saddle so you're off the meat of it and you're on the toe. What would you call the front of this? Is it the toe of the saddle? Let's call it the toe. The tip. The tip.
Is it the toe? The
tip
of the toe of the saddle?
Let's call it the tip then. All right. Just the tip. Just the tip, honey. The second part of this is, if you approach a steep section and it's shorter than like 10 feet, 20 feet, if it's a very short, punchy thing, I would actually suggest dropping the dropper and standing and cranking up this, using the momentum and standing and cranking. So it's two different ways to tackle a steep climb. If it's long, slide your butt up the saddle high cadence, slide your butt up the saddle and see if that doesn't make it feel a little bit better. And 2, if it's a shorter steep climb, drop the saddle and actually jam up this thing like it's nobody's business.
Well, you get the saddle out of the way, and then you can get the correct angle will just happen. You'll notice that you're just going to lean forward at the correct angle because you're going to be standing up. And so imagine running up a steep hill. You're going to lean slightly forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So if the saddle's still up, which is the way that we always learned, because we didn't have dropper post for a big part of our mountain bike journey, but if the saddle's still up, then you want to slide up to the front of it. And a good mountain bike saddle has more cushioning on the very front. That's what that's there for, so that you can sit there for a minute or two. The toe. That sounds weird.
It's so not the toe. It's definitely the tip. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but the toe freaks me out. I mean, a big toe. I think toes are weird looking. Yeah. The big toe is a big, powerful toe. I mean. It'd be funny if there was like a nail, like an image of a nail. Maybe we
on
could
the front of the saddle. Yeah, I do have. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is slightly different. Yeah, that's so.
Yeah,
funny.
there is a little bit of a toenail on that thing.
That's why.
Ryan, our AI expert's like, I'm not making you guys a saddle that looks like a toe. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. It's creepy. It's weird. Nobody wants to see it.
Oh gosh,
we just got another lawsuit. Ryan's like, I'm out, and I'm filing a lawsuit again. Yeah,
also,
you made me uncomfortable. Yeah. Now we're up to our eyes. We went over our nose. Now we're up to our eyes.
Up to our eyes. Yes. Good callback.
Yes. So yeah, that's great advice, and something that we kind of do probably take for granted. But yeah, match that angle, keep that traction on that rear wheel. Sometimes I even think about keeping traction on the rear wheel. Just what would that feel like?
Yeah,
to have all your weight, all the traction on the rear wheel. So good tip, good stuff.
All right, good stuff.
All right. Ride Laugh 1 at Gmail, YouTube comments, anything that we talked about today, anything with the tips, the gratitudes. We love hearing from everybody. And if you're still listening, you are definitely one of us, and we appreciate you. Please rate and subscribe, give a thumbs up. You can leave reviews on Apple, anything to spread the good word. Leave comments on our YouTube, because that helps the algorithm. If you just want to drop leave a comment or drop a hello, that's always great as well. And tell your friends. Yes. What did I miss, Sage? Where else can they spread the love of Ride Laugh? Instagram. We're doing a lot of Instagram content.
Yes. Right? Hashtag bull taint. Yes. Hashtag the bomb. Yes.
Bomb and bull taint. I think we're probably the only ones doing the bomb or bull taint, I would say.
I would think so. Yes.
Anymore.
Got that marker covered.
All right. Well, we thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Everyone have a great week and a great week of riding. Ride Laugh.
I'll see you, everyone.